Hey guys, welcome to week 3. So these assignments would be starting on April 13th, and then they will be due on April 20th. So week 3 assignments, all assignments are due on April 20th. You have 1 week to complete them all. Assignment 1 is the brain videos. The first video, step 1, you're going to watch the video on brain plasticity and complete the following questions. Type your answers into a message to Mr. Harrah or Mr. Mitchell if you're in period 6 or 7. If you're in period 1, 3, or 4, then you're typing it into an EDSB message to Mr. Harrah. The link to the video is at the bottom of the post, so if you go all the way to the bottom of this post, you can find the box where you can click on it. I think you have to click twice to get to YouTube to watch the video. You can also copy and paste this link here into the address bar at the top on your internet browser, or you can go to YouTube and you can search for this title right here to find the video. So those are the ways that you can find the videos for the first brain video. So watch the video. As you're watching it, you're going to complete these questions here, these 6 questions. You might want to have a piece of paper to write on so you can write down your answers, and then you're going to transfer those into a message that you're going to send to me on EDSB. So question 1, what is the name of the girl in the video? Question 2, explain the issue with her brain. 2 full sentences on that one to get full credit. Question 3, how do the doctors plan to fix the issue with her brain? 1 full sentence there. Question 4, tell 3 things that you learned from the video. So that's 3 sentences, 1 sentence per thing that you learn. Question 5, tell 2 questions you have, 1 sentence per question for 2 sentences total. And number 6, tell 1 thing you thought was the most interesting, shocking, or strange. So 1 question for that. So that's video 1 for assignment 1. Assignment 2, you're going to watch the video on why we dream and complete the following questions in the same message, you're sending me on EDSB as step 1. Type your answers to this video as well. The link to the video is at the bottom of the post, same thing as the other one. You can search for the title, Why We Dream. This video is by Vsauce. That's the person on YouTube who makes the video. The name of the channel is Vsauce. There are other videos called Why We Dream, so make sure you're getting the right one that's by Vsauce. Number 1, what do you think is the best answer for why we dream? You know, you watch the video, they're going to tell you different theories. What do you think the best theory is? Do you have your own theory? So tell me that. Number 2, have you ever walked in your sleep? Do you sleepwalk, or have you when you were younger? Do you know anyone who has? Tell me about it. Tell me about you sleepwalking, or the person, your little brother, little sister sleepwalking. Number 3, tell 3 things that you learned from the video. So 3 sentences, 1 per thing that you learn. Number 4, tell 2 questions that you have, 1 sentence per question for 2 sentences total for full credit. Number 5, tell 1 thing that you thought was the most interesting, shocking, or strange, 1 sentence for that. Step 3, so you should have been typing your answers into an EDSB message to send to Mr. Mitchell or to Mr. Harrah. Once you've finished, send it to Mr. Mitchell or to Mr. Harrah. That's how you're going to turn in the assignment. And I want you to use this format, so when you type it into the message, you're going to type video on brain plasticity and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and your answers. Then you're going to type underneath of that video on why we dream, and then 1 through 5, your 5 answers there. So that is assignment 1, watching these 2 interesting videos on the brain, and then answering those questions and emailing it to me or to Mr. Mitchell. Assignment 2 is the Reflex lab. So We went over the nervous system. This lab deals with the nervous system. That's how your body sends signals from your extremities, your arms and your legs to your brain, or any part of your body back and forth to your brain, so that you know what's going on around you, what's happening around you, or what's happening to you. So for the reflex lab, step 1, you will definitely need to watch this video where I explain this assignment to be able to do the lab. Otherwise, it's going to be confusing. So you made it here, you're watching the video, I'm going to explain how to do this lab. Step 2, we're going to make a homemade ruler if you don't have a ruler. If you already have a ruler, you can skip step 2. I don't want you to have to go out to the store. Maybe you don't have a ruler at home. So I'm going to show you right now how to make a ruler. All right. So let me switch over here the view. Give me a second. And I will show you how to make a homemade ruler. All right. There we go. I'm going to flip the computer up here, and I've got my piece of paper. So you need a piece of paper. It can be copy paper like I have here, or it can be a piece of notebook paper. So you need a piece of paper regular size. Regular size, like the paper we use every day at school, is 8.5 inches long on the longest direction. And I'm sorry, it's 11 inches long, the longest direction, right? And then it's 8.5 inches the shortest direction. So the longest direction is about 11 inches, right? So you need a regular size piece of paper, and you need a quarter. And I'm assuming that you should have access to a quarter. And then you need something to write with. What you're going to do, you're going to take your quarter. I don't know if you know this, but a quarter is about exactly 1 inch. So we can use it to be able to make our ruler. So our quarter is 1 inch. We're going to start at one side of the paper, line it up with the edge of the paper like I am here, and get the quarter in the middle on the edge of the paper, so it's at the thickest point, and then we draw a line there. Then I'm going to write 1 for 1 inch. Then I move it over here. Sorry, mine's upside down to you. Put the quarter at the edge of the line. Draw another line. Write 2 for 2 inches. Over again. 3 for 3 inches. Over again. 4 for 4 inches. Over again. 5 for 5 inches. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like this paper is about like 11 and a quarter, something like that. I'll flip it around here for you. And there are my inches. So I've got an 11-inch ruler. And then what I'm going to do is between each inch, I'll just eyeball it. So about halfway, just make a little line halfway between 0 and 1, between 1 and 2, go between all of them, and make a line about halfway. And I'm going to show you how to use this for the lab. Okay, so we've got our inches, we've got a line between each one halfway, and then we need to fold our paper up into a ruler. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the paper long ways, and you're going to fold it in half long ways, like this. All right. Fold it in half long ways, and then my halves, where I have it folded in half, I'm going to take that and then fold it in half again. So I'm folding it into 4 sections equally. That in half again, and then this other side here to my line in the middle. There. You might need to rewind and watch this again if you get confused. But see, I've got 4 sections there that are equal. So I want to start at the side that does not have the ruler on it. And I fold this down, right? I fold it again, and then I fold it again. So now, nice and folded, I've got my ruler, see? So 11 inches, it's about as wide as a regular ruler is, right? Now I'm going to show you how you're going to use this for the Reflex lab. So what you want to do, you need 2 people. So if you don't have a brother or a sister at home, get your parent, your guardian, somebody to help you out with this. It'll only take a couple minutes for them to do it. And you're going to test how fast your reflexes are. So you're going to take your dominant hand, that's whatever hand that you write with, and you're going to hold your dominant hand out in the air like this. And you want your fingers to be about 1 inch apart. So about that far apart. If we take our quarter and we put it between our fingers, you want your fingers to be about 1 inch apart, right, like that. So that's what you're doing. You're holding your hand like this. The other person is going to take the ruler and they're going to start with the 1 inch side. And right here at this very edge, they want to line up the ruler with your fingers. So you're going to be holding your hand like this, and they're going to hold the ruler over top of your fingers right like that. Okay? Now I'm going to switch the view of the camera so you can see how the person drops it and how you're going to try to catch the ruler to test your reflexes. Give me just a second. All right, so you've got one person that's holding their hand like this, right? And you want to hold your hand out over the ground. You don't want the table or anything to be underneath your hand because you want the ruler to be able to fall straight down toward the ground to be able to go all the way through your hand if you don't catch it, right? The other person is going to hold the ruler over your fingers, the edge here right at the tips of your fingers. Make sure your hand isn't too narrow and it's not too wide because you want to be uniform, right? It's an experiment, so about 1 inch. And they're going to hold the ruler over top of your fingers, and then without telling you, they're going to drop the ruler when you're not suspecting. So they might wait a few seconds, and then they drop the ruler, and then you're going to close your fingers as fast as you can on the ruler, right? So when you catch the ruler, then you're going to look at where you caught the ruler. So I caught it at 3 inches, and then I'm going to show you there's a chart that shows you what your reaction time is in seconds. So I caught it at 3 inches. I'm going to go back to my screen here in a second, and we'll show you the reaction time in seconds, right? So one more time, you're holding your hand like this, 1 inch apart. You're out where the ruler can fall all the way through. If you don't catch it, you're holding it right at the edge of the tip of your fingers. They're going to wait and do it randomly when you're not paying attention so that you won't have any idea when they're going to drop it, and they're going to drop, and you're going to close your fingers and catch it, and you're going to record on the ruler. See, that one was about 3.5 inches where I caught it there. Maybe you're going to be a little bit faster than Mr. Harrah, right? So let me switch back to sharing my screen. All right, so you're going to catch the ruler, and then this chart here, the table of reaction times for the ruler drop, is going to tell you what your reaction time was in seconds. So we made our ruler. We're going to conduct our experiment where one person is helping you. They're dropping the ruler. You're trying to catch the ruler with your dominant hand, whichever one you write with. My first catch was at 3 inches. So I look at this table of times for the ruler drop, and it says at 3 inches right here that my reaction time was 0.12 seconds. So it took 0.12 seconds for me to catch that ruler. The next one was at 3.5 inches, and I'm going to say that we're always going to round up. So if it's under 3.5, or if it's under a half, you would go down. So if it was under 3.5, I'm going to round to 3. If it's over 3.5, I'm going to round up to 4, right? And if it's exactly 3.5, let's just round up to 4, all right? So my 3.5 would have, I'm going to round that up to 4 inches, and that means that my reaction time was 0.14 seconds. So I need to do, if I skip down here, here's your data table where you're recording your reaction times. So for trial 1, I caught it at 3 inches. So I would record for trial 1, my reaction time was 0.12 seconds for trial 1. For trial 2, I caught it at 3.5 inches, and I rounded that up to 4 inches. So for trial 2, my reaction time was 0.14 inches, right? So you're going to do 6 times, and you're going to record your times, okay? If you need to rewatch this part of the video to understand exactly how that works, I hope that that was clear. So record your reaction times, and then the next step, step 4, is answer the lab questions. So you should have recorded your times. Draw this table here on a sheet of paper, record your times, and then you need to answer these questions on that same sheet of paper. So question number 1, which of the 5 senses did you use? So did you use smell, touch, sight, hearing, taste? Which ones did you use to react and catch that ruler? And it's going to be more than one, so think about it, right? Number 2, what factors affect your reaction time? 2 sentences minimum. So think about genetics. You know, different people are different. You get traits from your mom and your dad. Think about genetics. Think about experience. Has the person played sports? Do they do any activities? Practice, right? So when you're answering that question, number 2, 2 full sentences. Think about some of these things and more. There's other things that would affect your reaction time as well. Number 3, can you train yourself to have a faster reaction time? Explain. If the answer is yes, if the answer is no, explain that. Minimum 2 sentences. Number 4, now try 3 trials of catching the ruler with your other hand. So if you write with your right hand, first you're doing it with the right hand. For number 4, you're going to do it with your left hand, or vice versa. If you write with your left hand, now you're going to be doing it with your right hand. And then record those 3 trials under number 4 here, and then give 1 full sentence describing the difference in your reaction times. Was your left hand faster than your right hand, or vice versa, right? Number 5, describe 3 situations where reaction time is important. There's a lot of situations where reaction time is important. Give me 3 sentences. 1 sentence per situation describes 3 situations where reaction time is important. Number 6, how does your nervous system help in catching the ruler, right? How do you feel things with your fingers? How do you sense to be able to catch that ruler? How does your nervous system help in doing that? Where does the signal start, right? When you touch the ruler, where does that signal go? Explain that to me. That's why we're doing this, so you understand how the nervous system works. Number 5, how to turn this in, step 5. You may either take a picture of your paper, or you may type your answers into an Edsby message. If you take a picture of your paper, you need to make sure that we can see it. You need to look at your picture, make sure I can read everything. read your diagram, because if I can't read it, I can't grade it. I'm going to email you and ask you to send me another picture, okay? Or you can just type all that into EDSB. So that is assignment 2, which is the Reflex lab. And then you can also, it might be fun to test your parents, you know, see if your parents, your guardian, your brother, your sister, see if their reaction time is faster than you or slower than you. That might be fun to do as well. So you could try that out. But you don't have to record your partner's reaction time if you don't want to. If you want to, you can. I'd like to see that. All right, assignment 3, responding to the poll question. So for our little sort of participation assignment so far, we've had to post like a comment and a reply. For this one, you're going to be responding to a poll question, which I have yet to make. I need to make that up. I don't know what the question is going to be yet, but it's going to show up in your feed. You can see right here, kind of like the quiz has shown up that we've done so far. So it will say poll question or something like that, and then you'll have your options to take it, and then you're going to click whichever answer that you think is correct. And then, excuse me, when you click that, it's going to turn it into me, and then that will record your attendance for the week, and then you'll also get some points for that too. And something about attendance. I need to hear from you once a week. I need to get emails with your assignments, or if you're having trouble doing them, you need to email me and ask me questions. If you're not doing anything for the whole week, you're not doing your assignments, you're not corresponding with me, asking me questions or anything like that, that is part of your attendance. So if I don't hear from you, you don't do any assignments, then you're going to be marked as absent for the week. You have to participate somehow in the class, and that does not just include getting on EDSB, but then doing nothing. You have to do something for the class to be considered there. And if you don't do anything for the week, you don't talk to me, then once a week I have to call home and I have to check on you. I've got to talk to somebody at home and tell them, you know, you're not doing your assignments. I need you to work on your assignments. I don't want to do that. Most of you are doing really good, but just a few people, I'm letting you know, okay? So I hope you guys are doing good, staying busy at home. I've been exercising and stuff, trying to, you know, stay a little bit busy and occupied, playing a little bit of video games in between working on your assignments and things. I hope we're back in school soon, and I hope you're healthy and safe. All right, have a good week. Okay.